the next one. For this problem, let's see what we have on the next one. So I'm just gonna take this guy here, and because you see now we don't have much space, so I'm just gonna take this guy. Let's take this 1.3. Let's go work it out on our blackboard. So we have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. We need to solve that, and how many marks? 3 marks. Okay, let's quickly go and work on that guy and see what we get. So we are given that this is an inequality, and which is also one of my favorite questions. So I hope that from today it's going to be one of your favorite also, because I'm going to explain it nice. So now this is 2x squared. 2x squared minus 5x and plus 3, and they say this is less than 0. I need you to pause the lesson here, try to work this thing out, try to see what you remember about the inequalities. What do you remember about the inequalities? Right, so now what I'm going to do, first thing first, let's factorize this guy. I'm going to factorize this. This is 2 brackets which are less than 0. Then this side will be 2x, the other side will be x, and the factors of 3 is just 3 and 1. But now the issue is that where do we put the 3? On this bracket with the 2x, or should we put the 3 on the other bracket? Because remember, the factors are 3 and 1. Where is the 3 going, and where is the 1 going? So now let's focus on what the sign of the value of c. The sign is positive. What is that telling you? This tells you that both of these terms should be negative, because negative times negative will give us that positive 3. So now we are happy with that, because this will be minus 3 times minus 1. This will give us the value of c to be positive 3. I hope you guys understand that part. But now, where is the 3 going? This side or the other side? So now look at this. Look at this. When I put if I put the 3 this side, what will happen? What is 2x times 3? This gives me 6x. So now remember, if this gives me 6x and we said the 3 should be negative, this will make the 6x to be what? To be negative. So now this guy here will be minus 1. You see, this will be minus x. So when you add this to what do you get? Minus 7x. Is the minus 7x same as the middle term? No. This tells you that putting the 3 to that other side won't work. That won't work for you. So now let's change and put the minus 3 to this other side, and then I'm going to say I'm going to put my minus 3 this side and my minus 1 this side. So this will be x minus 1, and the minus 3 will come this side, because if I say 2x times minus 1, that gives me minus 2x, and then minus 3 times x, that gives me minus 5x. Are these two giving you the middle term of minus 5x? Yes. Then now that you have these two guys, so we are saying that we have 2x minus 3 into x minus 1, and this is less than 0. So now when it's like this, I know that most of you guys treat this as an equation, and this stops today. Please do not treat this as an equation. So don't say 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 1 is equal to 0. Don't do this, because remember, we are here to discuss the common mistakes that you guys do. Please don't treat this as an equation, but the best way to do this is to say critical values. You see, you need to solve this in your mind or somewhere on your question paper, not on your answer sheet. So when I say somewhere, just say, I know that if I say 2x it's equal to 0 and equate this to 0, and if I say minus 1 and equate this to 0, this side I'll have 2x to be 3, and then divide both sides by 2. What is the value of x? 3 over 2, or the other side x is equals to 1. So now, the reason I'm saying that don't include these steps on your you must not include this whole thing. Don't put it on your answer sheet. You can just write it somewhere where no one is going to see that after you are done writing. Right. So now, when you are done and you have it in like that, I need you to focus on this part. X is 3 and X is 1. So 3 over 2, I think that's about 1.5. So if that's about 1.5, so 3 over 2 is greater than 1. So you're going to write this and say, see this. You start with the small number, which is 1. Okay, I'm not going to use big bracket because remember the sign is less than only. It's not less than or equals to. So these values are not included. So I'm going to use big brackets. But if it was less than or equals to, I was going to use that bracket to show that my CVs are included. So now you start with the small number, which is 1. And then you write the 3 over 2, you close the bracket. You say these are my critical values. So when you have your critical values, what do you do next? You can just write down your number line, start with the small number, and then on the other side write your 3 over 2. So now let's plot this number. Look at the value of A. The value of A is positive. And what type of graph is this? It's a parabola. It's a quadratic equation. So the value of A is greater than 0. What is this telling you about the shape? It will be concave up. Then I'm going to draw my graph and say this is how my graph will look like. It's concave up. So now the question is asking, where is this less than 0? Where is this negative? So to find the values where it's negative, I need you to choose any number between, you can choose any number between these 2 points, or you can choose any number from 1 going that side, or you can choose any number from 3 over 2 going that side. So now I know that if I have 1 and 1.5, it's going to be difficult for me to choose any number between those two numbers. So I'll just go with any number. I can take one number this side, which is 0. Remember, 0 comes before 1. So now I can take 0. So I'm going to take that 0 and substitute it where? On the original equation. This original equation. So when we put 0, what will be the answer? You just have to punch that on the calculator. You can see this is 0. This will also be 0. The answer is 3. So since 3 is positive, just know that this other side also will be positive. The middle side is the one that will have a different sign. So the middle part is the one that will be negative. So what I'm trying to say is that if this side, the sign of that side will be the same as the sign of that side, and then the middle part will have a different sign. And then now you can answer the question, for which values of x is this less than 0? It's less than 0 from this point going in that direction, and it's also less than 0 from this point going in that direction. So what will be the final solution, ladies and gents? So x must be less than 3 over 2, or x must be greater than 1. And if you give them this answer, they're going to give you your full mark. So you can write this and say x must be less than 3 over 2, or x must be greater than 1. So this is the answer that you can give them. Right, then when you have it like that, you can also start smiling and say, you know what, I have that 3 marks. Get in. It's a ding ding ding. Okay, so now if we go back to the past paper, let's look at what we have next.